Ujah.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here. Really nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I've always, from my end, I've always seen you as one very quiet person that doesn't talk. I hope you're going to talk to us today.
I'll try. Let's see how that goes.
So when we posted your image, and then someone said, "Oh, this guy that doesn't talk," I'm like, "Oh my God, he doesn't talk, really?"
Maybe, I'm sure that person knows me and my family somehow.
Of course, we have you here, and you're talking to us already, so we're convinced that you usually talk then. Yeah, so yeah. Let me officially say welcome to you. This is Footballers Connect. So here we try to get close and personal with top stars, professionals who can share
Okay.
their experiences with youngsters, who can share their experiences with the populace. People want to hear
Mhm.
these things to get motivated and then to get inspired. You know, a lot of people often think that, oh, they're footballers, they have a lot of money, they made it big time, but some people don't know that it's a process, right?
Exactly.
Some people forget the fact that you build up from somewhere. You didn't just arrive at where you are today. You know.
Hmm.
Welcome, Anthony Ujah. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
ask you,
Thank you
how
very
have you
much.
been coping? Yeah, how have you been
Uh,
coping before the COVID time?
yeah, I think everything was fine before the COVID time. I guess there's no one in life in this world right now that would say they are not affected by the situation. Like life was good, everything was going normal. Football was we were having fun playing with fans and just love doing our job. Then comes the virus
Yeah.
and but the good thing is that we had the opportunity to play again. Of course, not with the fans,
Yeah.
but still. So, in general, I would say I'm grateful, having the opportunity to be able to finish the season, and have my clear my head and know now that yes, the season is over. You can plan your future, you can plan your holiday, you can plan everything. Of course, things are not 100% perfect around the world, but as a football player, I would say I'm happy right now that we're able to finish the season, which is very, very important.
Very important. Well said. I mean, you just mentioned that, okay, part of the things that you're going to plan, family, holiday. How do you how do you feel right now? Do you think that you can really plan a holiday right now?
It's
Sincerely.
I cannot go to Nigeria. So there is no not being able to go to Nigeria is not a holiday at all. So I'm I'm sitting right now in Cologne. It's like my home in Germany here. That's where I have my home in Germany. That's where I have one of the best time in my career in Germany here. So that's my home, my second home right now. So that's the only place I will say I'm stuck here at the moment. And if nothing changes, then I will be here and go back to Berlin after when we resume preseason again. So as it is now, I can really within Germany, but going outside Germany right now, it's out of the question.
Yeah, I mean everybody's affected by these. Someone Orox Square 99 just said, so sad we have to stay where we are at the moment, at the present, and that's the reality. A lot of people
Yeah.
have plans. I mean, a lot of people were looking to move to Europe, sign a contract
Mm.
this summer season, but I mean, it's all dashed. But we hope that things are going to get better, really.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's one of the sad things happening around the football world. It's your dream to move to Europe. It's your dream to chase your dream, like to go out there and make yourself and your family proud. And then comes such a situation that no one knows how long it will last. I can feel for those who are affected by this situation, but also there are a lot of football players as well who their contracts are running out. They don't know what's happening with their futures, and
yeah.
it's just sad, But like you said, hopefully there will be better times again.
Yeah, hopefully, honestly. So let me just brief for the benefit of those that are just joining us. So we have on here Anthony Ujah. So he plays for Union Berlin in Germany. He has played in Germany for quite some time. He played in Nigeria. He's played in China, and then he's played for Lillestrøm as well. You know, the essence of having this kind of conversation is just for us to be able to motivate as many as possible and then inspire as many as possible. So much is going on around the world. People do not really know what you footballers go through. They just see the Bentley, they see the Ferrari, they see everything, and then they're like, oh, these guys are flexing, these guys are enjoying. But we really like to hear from the horse's mouth. Now, tell us, you grew up somewhere in Benue. You were born somewhere in Benue State. That quite struck me when I saw your profile, and I'm like, oh, this man was born in Benue State, and then he still went up ahead. Tell us about your background growing up.
I would say my story is quite a miracle. I always describe it as a miracle because I'm not one of those stories that you can just say, yeah, I worked really hard, I trained really hard. Of course, that's part of it, but it's us all by the grace of God. You know, I will never shy away from returning like all thanks and all glory to God because from the beginning, I lack what most football players had, which is the youth training, you know, like training, having this academy from the beginning. I never had such an opportunity. All I had was school football, you know, playing football in school. And you know how school football is just 11 against 11, just go and kick, you know. There is no time for teaching you technical things and all that. You have a short time, so you just go 11 against 11. And then in the evening, you know, and then you play football in your, like, community football, you know. There is no time for any kind of physical exercise or any, it's just 11 against 11, and if you are substituted, okay, you go home, you know. So I missed all that, and honestly, that had effect on me even until today as I speak to you. But what I did was to work on my strength, you know, the things that I found out that I was good at. I held that very strongly. I kept on working on it, you know. I never tried to be who I am not. I never. If you have followed my career so far, if you've watched most of my goals, most of my games, I'm not a striker who will dribble 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders to score. No, I'm not that kind. I don't have that technique. I know what I have and know what I don't have, you know, but I try to accept. The moment I accepted that, you know, I welcome that and I said, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. So I try to do the simple things, you know. When I have the ball, I try to give it away to an opponent as fast as possible and create a room to get it back again or to go in the box and wait for it. And you know, our job as a striker is to score goals, and if you are not always in the box, the goals will not come. There are strikers who go down to the pitch to make things happen and come to score the goal. For example, Thierry Henry, he's got it all, you know. That's one example. But personally, I know I don't have it because I didn't get that training from the beginning. I wasn't special and things like that, so I never try to be something I am not. So I try to get involved, you know. When you are up there as a striker and the ball is not coming to you much, you try to come a little bit down just to, you know, get the ball, give it back and go back again in the box, you know, and wait, hope something happens, you know, a cross or a good number 10 that has a good eyes that gives you the ball, a true pass that you can go to the goalkeeper. This thing I started working on them, you know, while growing up. So it wasn't an easy journey at all, you know, because I was in school and then I was battling with my parents, you know, to continue football, to continue school, or to go full-time football. And many people kept telling my father, especially my father, like, yeah, your son is really good. I watched him play. You have to take him outside Nigeria. And then he kept saying, where do I get the money from? You know, so, and he said, yeah, he keeps hearing that a lot, but he doesn't have the means to push me forward. You know, he can only hope that one way or the other, I will find my way. But he gave me and my siblings a good education, which is one thing I give him good credit for, which is something that still helps me until today, you know, being educated, because I've seen so many mistakes football players make, financially and also making decisions on which team they have to go to. This little education, it helps. That's why I always
Yeah.
encourage so many young players today to try as much as they can to have something. You don't need to show your certificate to any coach before they choose you. All they want is your talent and your discipline. But a little bit of education helps a lot. When you have the opportunity to when it comes, because success and wanting more, these two, there's a way it goes together. When you have your first professional contract, when you get your first money and all, the question is how much does it goes into your head? Do you want more? Are you after money in the beginning? All these things, it counts a lot. So I would say the little I had, having this little up to my diploma, like I had like OND in a polytechnic, and then I stopped and then I quit because it was the football was boiling in my head too much. So I had to sit down with my father and we had like a very, very big discussion. And he said, okay, what I can do is I can give you 1 year. I give you 1 year and you need to show me that you can be good in this football. Otherwise, you will go back to school because I know most of your friends, they abandoned school and for years they are still trying. I wouldn't want you to do that. I want you to show me within 1 year that it can happen. And if not, then you go back to school and then you play the football on the side, hoping something comes. But I would not let you abandon school completely. So luckily, after 6 months, I went on trial with FC Abuja, and they were already in Premier League. So you can see the difference. I started from school. I was playing for, of course, some amateur teams around. I wasn't traveling with them. I was playing mostly home matches because I have to be in school. I have to attend classes and all that. So it wasn't easy to combine. Here in Europe, it's easy. You can combine school to certain stage. But in Nigeria, it wasn't that easy, because I have to travel a lot and combining both is practically impossible. So I had to make a decision, because I knew I was developing very well, despite not having the facility, not having a good pitch, not having a coach or an academy where you get to learn everything about passing and, all these technical things, I never learned about. Somehow I knew the love for football, the passion was growing and growing. So I traveled to Abuja for an open camp, and that was the beginning of my story.
Interesting, quite an interesting journey you took us through. I mean, one thing I would want you to describe to us, where did you grow up exactly? Where exactly did you grow up?
I grew up in Otukpo, Benue State.
So, yeah. So I wanted to describe to us what that city is like, or what that community is like.
It's
for the benefit of those that are watching.
It's a football loving city, I would say. Whenever there is a football match, even if it's a friendly game, the crowds are coming. All the Okada, they stop walking. They come there. They climb on their bikes. People are on the fence. People are on the trees, trying to watch the game. And that's one thing that helped me a lot. While when I left home, I wasn't affected by the crowd in stadiums anymore, because in my hometown, I have something similar. Not as big as a stadium, but the crowd influence on the game. I already had that experience, so that helped me, that built me in a way, not being affected by, whenever you make a mistake and they boo you like, ooh, Sabi play ball, that kind of thing. You need a strong character. You need to be strong in your head, to be able to accept it. Otherwise, when you get the ball next, you give it back directly. You don't want to try something. You don't want to take any risk because you don't want them to boo you. You don't want them to laugh at you. And sometimes your family are there. Your girlfriend is there. Your brothers, your sisters, everyone is there. So you are battling with being strong in your head. You are battling with impressing your family. There are so many things you're battling. So having that experience helped me a lot, because like I said, Otukpo is Otukpo has produced so many good football players in the Nigerian league, and a few has made it out, not in a major league, but a few has made it out. So growing up in Utukpo helped me a lot. I was not born in Utukpo, but I grew up there, and that's where I actually matured into, football wise. That's why I developed very well.
Interesting. What an amazing story. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Onazi Ogenyi. Thank you, Senior One, for joining us. We didn't hail you from here, okay? So, I think Onazi is also from Benue, right? Correct?
Yes, he's from Benue.
So, that means that you could speak language without it.
We always speak. We just spoke just yesterday. We're always in contact. It's like when I was when I had my first invite into the Super Eagles, I was happy he was there because he welcomed me very well. He helped me to settle in very well, and it's just nice to know that one of my fellow Benue person made it also very far. And it's my wish that more can come out to be even better than us. That's my honest personal wish.
Amazing. So you said you played for FC Abuja. So we'd like you to share some of your experiences with us. What do you make of the lower division league or maybe the Premier League? Because you played for Warri Wolves. I assume it was in the Premier League, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
actually,
so what do you make of the league then?
The league has produced so many good players, despite all the challenges, the challenges of referee intimidation, fans intimidating referees, fans threatening even their own team. All these things, despite all these things, players have still come out good. Players are still producing. We can see so many players in the national team as well. I mean, the league is the only problem we have, is just having a constant calendar, a calendar that matches with Europe, and being able to follow it year in, year out. You see some league losing important players who are traveling to Europe because the Europe is about to start. In Europe, the league is about to start, so the players are going for preseason, while their club in Nigeria is battling CAF Champions League, CAF Cup, things like that. So they mixing up the calendar, but I understand it's not easy because you need sponsors. Sometimes they don't get the sponsors. That affects the calendar. Sometimes they have to make like a new league management board, and changing the names every time. So, but the league in general is a good league, and I'm proud to have played in the league. I only played 1 year actually, but I was proud that I didn't just make my journey all through. The experience in the Nigerian league helped me a lot. It built me a lot, and that's the things. These challenges that I mentioned, going through all these challenges, made me really, really strong. And then coming out, with that strength, I was able to face whatever challenges that comes with living alone, going to a strange country like Norway where it was minus 15 degrees. I never saw a winter before. All these challenges, because I've also had my own challenges from home, and I was able to experience them and successfully going through them. So going to Europe, whatever challenge came, I was able to, by the grace of God, I was able to excel.
Yeah, so before we head over to Europe, I mean, a lot of players leave Nigerian league. They played Nigerian league, and then the intention of everybody or the aspiration is to leave the Nigerian league and then jet abroad. You've played in Europe for a while. What do you think is responsible for everybody wanting to leave Nigeria? What do you think is responsible?
Better life, challenge, wanting to be better than they were. And you see all these things on television. You see how everybody wants to watch the Premier League. Everybody wants to watch the national team. Everybody wants to watch the European League. So they also want to be there. They want to be watched on television. They want to have the opportunity to make the life of their families better. They want to have the opportunity to make their families proud, themselves proud. It's challenge. I would say the ones who wants to really go out, they deserve some credit. It's not because you are not proud of your own league. It's not because we think it's really bad to play in the Nigerian league. It's not so easy to leave home. You are leaving your friends, you are leaving your family, you are leaving practically everything to go to a strange to another man's land where you have no idea what's waiting for you over there. So I would say the decision to leave, to have that hunger to go, deserves some credit, because I have seen so many players from my hometown, while I was growing up, the players we call senior players, who were really good in our hometowns, but they refuse to go because they are in a comfort zone. They come home, there's food on the table from their mother. Their younger ones are washing their boots and their clothes. They have everything they want. They do not want to go out, And when somebody comes to them and like, hey, I know somebody in Lagos who's in a pro division or a Premier League team. He wants you to come for a trial. They don't want to go. The ones who goes run away and come back home after just a few days, because leaving that comfort zone is the number one challenge. I would say, is the biggest challenge. If you make up your mind, if you are ready to say, okay, now I want to go, that decision alone deserves some credit, because it's not really easy. I've been in Europe now for 11 years.
Yeah.
I would say it's been a good journey so far, until I was married 2 years ago. It was not easy. I was 9 years alone, like one man soldier, traveling moving from one city to another, moving from one country to another. It's not easy. You of course you have holidays where you come to see your family and all that, but you still have your friends from before. You still want to do the same thing. You still want to do that, but because there are a lot of people are looking up to you, because you've set a goal that you haven't reached yet. You are still climbing a ladder. You don't want all those things to pull you back. You come home, Benue, we are the food basket of the nation. We have all the food. When I'm home, I eat all the food, and I don't want to go back. I feel like, I wish the holiday is not over yet. But there is a part of me that is excited to go back, because I miss football, because I have the passion for it, because I love it, because I want to, go back to challenge myself. Like, yeah, this season I scored so goal. Next one I want to score more. So this challenge and everything. So I would say leaving home is a big thing, which if you're able to cross that hurdle, then every other thing can come.
You said a lot about leaving Nigeria. The challenge. It's a challenge for a lot of players. It's not easy. It's not actually an easy decision. I mean, you left Nigeria at 20. You joined a club in Norway. How was it like? Freezing cold condition, crazy atmosphere, where you've never been before, the grass, everything that you had to combat with. What was it like for you?
Honestly, it was difficult, but at the same time, an exciting one, because like you mentioned, the pitch, the weather, the people, you are used to being around certain your friends, but now you find yourself. Okay, I had I had two Nigerians who were already in the team, which helped me a lot. Nosa Igebo and Edwin. They helped me settle well. We were speaking pidgin English. We were like, it was feeling like partly like home for me. So that helped me to settle down very well. I didn't need anyone to translate something for me to say, because they can easily tell me what the coach wants. They can easily tell me in pidgin English what I should do in some kind of exercise and training. You have to pass here, you have to go through this cone, you have to go here and come back. So I was blending. I was flowing. Everything was flowing so fast. So that's one of the major things that helped me. But the only thing they could not help me with was the weather, because this is something you cannot get used to. Exactly. This is something you cannot get used to. And 40 degrees in Nigeria, 35 to 40 degrees my whole life, and then coming to minus 15. It's like putting your head inside deep freezer. You know what that means? Like,
Crazy,
yeah, being
crazy.
being in a refrigerator, it was hard. I was wearing hand glove. I was wearing 2 head warmers. I was doubling everything. Everything was up double. Socks was double. Everything was double. It was uncomfortable to run. It was uncomfortable to move freely because I was loaded. It was it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. But after a few weeks, I started to, like, okay, settle in, and then we started to use the indoor hall, which was which was very helpful. And then, like I said, those challenges I was able to go through in Nigeria built me. I was able to start. I was able to resist all these cold problems, this new system, and the technical things that I told you about that I didn't have from the very beginning. I was starting to
Yeah.
adjust really fast, and then the major part was trying to remember everything as fast as possible. I don't want to let my weakness to be the reason why I will not succeed here. So, because I was on trial, it's one thing to be on a trial, and then the other thing to be like you were bought. I wasn't bought. I came there on a 2 weeks trial. So I either go back to Nigeria and continue playing in the Nigerian league, or I have a contract. I have to battle with this weather and everything. And another thing was the good pitch. You can't just see a flat pitch. Honestly, coming from Africa, coming from Nigeria, and every other country in Africa, where the ball is bumping and jumping, and then you come to a pitch where the ball, when they pass it to you, is coming straight to you. You are not used to this. The first few days will be difficult. You are overwhelmed. How perfect everything is. You still need to process all these things and then accept it that, yes, okay, I'm in somewhere different now, so I have to behave myself. I have to get used to things as fast as possible. So that was also another major thing. But it was an amazing experience for me, an amazing one. I was playing the preseason with them, the friendly games, and that was where I impressed the coach and his crew. And everything happened so fast. I got a contract, and in my first season, I was scoring 14 goals, which was like extremely amazing. And it was just my time in Norway it's a time that I will never ever forget. And I visited them earlier this year, because they introduced me into the European audience, and I owe them that, and I always show my appreciation that I've been there twice since I came to Germany, because I always go back to say thank you, because little things matters.
Honestly, Wikipedia said that you already built a kind of connection with the audience already, like with the fans already, and then you were already like a legend at 20 years old. How was it like? Was it easy for you to leave when you knew that you wanted to leave? Lillestrøm? Were you emotional?
Very, very. There is this pride we have as men, that we don't cry when we don't want to cry, or we don't want to show we don't want to show we don't want to show weakness. But in that case, I planned it. Actually, I planned it. But the moment they started singing for me, the moment they started saying goodbye, I broke down. This is something you cannot control. If you have a heart, if you're a really human being, if you have a heart, you will be moved. I broke down. I broke down in tears, and it felt different. And my coach in Mainz that bought me, the current PSG coach, he was the one that Thomas Tuchel, you know him, the current PSG coach.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel.
He was there to watch my last game for Lillestrøm, and I had no idea he was there. He came to watch me, and in that game I scored 4 goals. We won the game 4-2, and he told me when I came to Germany, he told me that he was there in that game, and that he almost cried for the fans, because he knew that moment that I was going to leave them. because he decided in his mind that yes, I am leaving with this player. I am taking this player to Germany. And he was feeling so sad for the fans because he was 100% sure that he was going to sign me. So he felt really, really bad for them because he saw the bond, he saw the love, he saw the connection. And I wasn't even trying to score these goals because I want to leave. I was just enjoying football. I was just doing what I love most. I had no idea he was sitting. Maybe if I knew he was there, maybe I wouldn't have played well because when you try to impress someone, it's likely that you will make mistake, but when you are just being yourself, expressing yourself on the pitch, the best comes. So it was really, really emotional, very, very emotional. And until now, I still follow them. They recently got relegated, which touched me a lot for them. I went to support them in their last game of the season, hoping that they will avoid the relegation, but that didn't happen. But I really hope they come back because they are one of the teams that stayed longest in the first division, and I really hope they will come back.
Wow. I mean, I can't imagine how the fans would have felt when you were leaving because, you scored a lot of goals. You did things that had not happened before. The connection was there. They had never seen something like it in a while. And then you brought back the moment of joy for them, for the club, for the fans, for the other players. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be a rapture.
Yes.
When a player is leaving, it looks like a rapture. The next minute he's leaving.
That's the thing with football. That's one thing I've learned over the years. Knowing that my coach, one of my previous coaches, Solomon Ogbeide, my coach in Warrior Wolves. May he so rest in peace. He's late now. He always said to us when I was playing for Warrior Wolves that look at yourself together. This picture you are making together before every game will never be the same in your life anymore. And I always remember that thing my whole career until now. And that's one thing that always keeps me strong, that always keeps me going, that after all the emotional time, put yourself together, journey continues, and then I just move on. That's one thing, because there's one thing to have all the money, to have all the fame and all the things, but the human part, the emotional part, the human connection, this is something money cannot buy. This is something you don't just build overnight. So I've experienced that, and I'm kind of grateful that I have such an opportunity, because not just in Lillestrøm, I had it also in Cologne, and that was one brutal experience for me. And but in all in all, it all built me to be a strong person that I am today.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I mean, you played in Norway, and then you moved to Germany. What are the differences? Like, I mean, it's all Europe. Is it the same? Playing in Germany, playing in Norway?
No, it's not. No, it's not the same. The level in Germany is way higher. When I mean way higher, I mean with physical, with tactics, with your level of discipline. You have to be. I mean, you don't just go to training and come home and then it's finished. In Germany, the training continues even when you're at home, because the competition is huge. You have 3-4 players battling for your position. Even when you just had an amazing game, you just had a man of the match game, there is someone else fighting your position already. And the coaches here, they don't care what you did in the last game. They are only concerned about what you will do from Monday to Friday before the next game on Saturday. If you think because you just scored 2 goals, because you were just the man of the match, the next game you will just it's like a walkover, like you're already in the starting lineup, you will be shocked. You are out. This level of discipline, always staying awake, always being trying to maintain your position, like it's huge. That's the difference. And also the tempo of the game. In Norway, you can, okay, the build up from the goalkeeper to the defense, you know, the midfield to the striker, you know, it takes time, you know, it takes like a minute or so. But here, you can be in front of the goalkeeper, from your own goalkeeper, passing the ball to your defense. You, as a striker, you can be already in trying to score a goal within 20 seconds. It happens so fast. So you always have to be physical. You're working on your physical shape, trying to be in shape physically. And then you're also tactically, you want to always stay awake. You don't have time to think about what you're going to do after the game played here in Germany. You know, that, and the physical aspect is, I mean, nobody gives you time to just dribble, you know, all those things Messi and Ronaldo, they are doing in Spain. They can't do it here. I tell you, they cannot do it here in Germany. Nobody gives you that space. You don't get that space. Sometimes already they are pressing you from your goalkeeper already, forcing your goalkeeper to kick the ball long, not to pass to the defense line. That's how tough the league is, you know. So it's just, but Norway, it's like, it's a place to develop to the next stage. You know, there are a lot of good players that has come from the Norwegian league, because Norway is categorized as, you know, in the same category as Belgium, Finland, you know, these leagues around Sweden, Denmark, you know. So
Denmark,
if you're able to succeed in such league, you can succeed in Germany, you can succeed in Premier League, you can succeed in Spain, Italy, you know, in the 5 major leagues in Europe. So my time in Norway was like a preparation for how long I've been in Germany so far. You know.
Amazing. So when you got to Cologne, you made your, I mean, when you got to Mainz, you also made your mark before moving to Cologne. But Cologne was where you really hit it, and then you scored quite a number of goals. What was the difference? What exactly happened between Mainz and Cologne?
First of all, I went to Mainz. You know, coming to Germany, my first season was not so easy. I had to deal with the language issue. In Norway, it wasn't that bad, because in Norway, English was almost like a general language in the dressing room when you have more than foreigners in the team. But in Germany, it's compulsory to learn the language. It's compulsory for you to communicate with your team. So when you come directly, they give you you have to take the German classes, you know, to learn the language, because it's important, not just for your team, but also for life. They want you to be able to express yourself when you go to the supermarket. They want you to be able to express yourself. So that helps in your general development. They know that if everything is fine privately, then football also goes fine. That's the reason why they always want you to go to German class directly when you come to German. So it wasn't easy for me, because everything was happening too fast. These things I talked about, the tempo of the game, the tactics and everything. And here, talent is not just enough. You know, you need the tactical discipline. You need so many things. So then your talent is almost coming as the 3rd or 4th on the list of things that you need to have ready to be able to excel here in Germany. So the first year was a little bit bumpy for me. You know, I was trying to settle in, and so many things was going on. But I also didn't forget my own personal abilities. That's why I didn't want to stay there for another year, because I felt after 6 months, I felt like, yes, I've made some certain level of progress to be able to express myself on the pitch. You know, I don't want to hide behind learning the language, about tactics and all that, and want to shy away. I was already building my confidence as fast as possible, because I want to show myself. And because I didn't get that opportunity, I directly started to push for a move. Because for me, it's not just about having a good salary, you know, just waiting for the month to end to take my money. No, I want to play. I want to show myself. The first thing is always the passion, you know, the hunger to succeed. So they knew that I was developing well, and they didn't want me to leave. And they kept me for the next preseason, the 2nd season. So I said, okay, I will see how the preseason goes. from the feeling, from the friendly games, I would know what's happening, you know. But then I was not ready to risk it until the transfer window was closed. You know, I don't want to wait until I want to be able to decide before the first game, before the transfer window closed. One thing is that I was focused on the my head was not out of the club yet. I was able to give it my all. I was able to stay push, and I had a really good preseason. You know, I remember I scored 6 goals in 4 friendly games, and it was looking like, yes, this is your season. But then I saw some things that made me to still have a rethink. Like, yeah, maybe the coach still have his own ideas, and I wasn't ready to risk it for another 6 months. You know, and making a transfer in January is very difficult because you are going to an almost complete team. You know, you don't have enough time for preseason. It's just a 1 week or so, 10 days. They already have their team. You are coming to start from the beginning, you know. So I wasn't ready to risk it to the winter transfer window. So when I noticed some funny things, like it wasn't going my way, despite having a good preseason, I decided to push for a move. You know, I didn't mind which league. That's why I came to second league with Cologne, because I knew, of course, they were not just a team that belongs in the second division. They have the ambition to go up, and they impressed me with the project, what they are trying to build. You know, how they are trying to have a new team, a new beginning. So I was convinced that they are the right team for me. And the second division already started. They were already, I think, 4 or 5 games into the season when I came. But I ended up scoring 13 goals. I think, yeah, around 13 goals, which was for a team that you didn't have a preseason with, which was very good. You know, I settled in very quick. And then after that season, Mainz wanted me back. But we didn't make the promotion with Cologne, you know. We didn't make the promotion. We came up fifth place. So it showed like, yeah, with 1 or 2, 3 addition, we will make the promotion to the first league. So I knew we were building something, and I wanted to continue this project. So I made it clear to my agent that I want to continue here in Cologne, and I did just what I thought happened. We got in a few reinforcements, and then we made the promotion directly to the first league. And yeah, that was like my coming to Germany, and also moving from Mainz to Cologne.
Wow. I mean, I'd like to say a quick shout out to Omeru as well. Omeru says, "My guy."
Senior player, I greet you.
To everybody that is following us, I'd like to appreciate everyone for your patience. Thank you for following us from the beginning. Billings Concept is saying, "Can you speak Dutch now?" Of course, you can.
Very well, very, very well.
That's the answer. Billings Concept. So Billings Concept is in Germany. So he follows us every from time to time.
Nice.
Let me see if we've got a few more. Everybody, there's a lot of people saying hi to you. I mean, you're a superstar. So
greetings to everyone back.
Okay. So yeah, some people say that you sometimes need to go down to go up.
Exactly.
Right. Just like the swimming pool. For you to stay afloat, you first go down and then you come up. So I believe that's why you made that decision at the time.
Exactly.
Who made this decision? Were you the one who made the decision, or your agent?
I did, because that's one major problem with young players, you know, coming up. You need to, and that's one thing I believe most of your followers who are aspiring to go out, something important for them to listen, because they have the power. Without them, no agent will be paid. Without them, no fans will come to the games. So they need to know that the power lies with them. The fact that they are just starting doesn't make the agent above them. The agent's job is to provide the advice, the options. I made the decision to leave. And then it's my agent's job to provide the options for me. He provided 2 options for me. One was Cologne and another one was St. Pauli. They are in the 2nd division right now. They were both in the 2nd division. And I had no knowledge of the both teams. Honestly, I came to Germany just 1 year. So I really don't know the history about any team or anything yet. I don't know much. I don't have much information. I had to decide just from my instinct, just randomly. And I said Cologne because playing in the previous season for Mainz, I came to Cologne. So I saw the stadium. It was really beautiful stadium. You know, it was big. So that's the only thing I know. And then we didn't play the game because there was an issue with the referee trying to take his own life. So the game was cancelled. So I didn't really experience playing there. I was just in the stadium. And then I don't know anything about St. Pauli. So I have to say Cologne because I have been into the stadium. That's the only thing I know about them. You know, so I had to decide like, okay, I will go for Cologne. So he put the options on the table, but at the end of the day, I made the decision where to go. I made the decision if I am leaving Mainz or not. It wasn't him. I didn't let him to decide. I didn't give him the opportunity to decide based on which team he will earn his most commission or something, you know. So it's always about you, the player, and how you vision your journey to be. So it's important for young players to know that agents are working for them and not the other way around. So they always need to have that power in their hands, you know, that they have the final say. They are the one to decide, because at the end of the day, they are the one that will be running up and down. They are the one that will make that agent earn his money. Good. So if an agent takes you somewhere that you don't feel, you have a feeling that you don't belong there, you have a feeling that I'm not sure about it, just follow your instinct. Don't follow what that agent says. Just follow your own. The agent is either going for his money or whatever he wants, but
whatever his interest is.
Exactly.
Very true. I'm glad you're really hitting this hard. And then Omar Akatuba. Omar is a journalist. I'm sure you know Omar Akatuba as well. He's also in Germany. And Omar has, of course, covered quite a number of games in Germany.
And before. In my first year in Mainz, I met him in my first year in Mainz.
Wow. I'm sure you'll be hosting Omar next. Omar, when next do you want Ujah to host you again?
Omar is everywhere. Omar is everywhere. Omar is a freelancer. Today he's in Spain, he's in Italy, he's in England, he's everywhere. So he's always welcome to Berlin. Whenever he's ready, he can come to Berlin.
Wow. So Omar is saying, I have always said this, player is the king. Someone who is also on this chart, his name is Drew Uyi. He says the player needs to understand that the agent is working on his behalf. The agent is working for you. Don't be a slave to agents.
Exactly. I have one good example of what we are talking about now. You know, there was a reason why I didn't sign for Real Mallorca 2012, January 2012. That's after spending 1 year in Lillestrøm, I had an offer to play for Real Mallorca. They were in the first division. Michael Laudrup, the Danish legend, he was the coach then. I remember very well. They had almost all the strikers were injured, so then they were like on a search for a striker, like panicking badly because they were almost getting relegated. So they needed a striker in January. I was there to sign for them. The deal was agreed with Lillestrøm, and everything was good. The Nigerian agent Ata Aneke that took me to Norway, he didn't make the trip. You know. But then there was another agent that represented him. You know, and then the agent, when I came there, everything was looking like the agent was doing everything for himself, you know. And this despite knowing very well that I was about to leave Norway, it's a step up. It's an upgrade in terms of your salary, in terms of the league. I mean, you will be playing against Ronaldo, you'll be playing against Messi, but I didn't lose my head. You understand? the options that was put was not favorable to my Nigerian agent, and I wasn't going to betray him. You know, we say player's the king, player decides and everything, but then many people see agents as like, you know, being the bad guys. But we also need to know that there are a lot of players who have treated agents bad. That's the
badly.
reason why so many agents want you to sign something so early. Until now, as I'm talking to you now, I have never signed anything for any agent in my career. But at the same time, I have not had a problem with anyone, because this thing is about, it has to be a trust. There has to be a friendship between you and an agent, not just only, yeah, he's my agent, I'm his player. You know, then he needs to understand you. He needs to know your family. He needs to know your journey, where you're coming from, what is your goal, everything. All these things, that's how it works together. That's how you're able to have a player till the end of his career. You know, so this deal was not favorable to my Nigerian agent, and he brought me from Nigeria to Norway. So now I have the opportunity to play in a bigger league against Ronaldo, against Messi and all that, but I wasn't going to betray him. That was never going to happen. So I stood by my principles, and I pulled out of the deal 11 p.m. and the transfer window was closing 12 p.m. It was not my problem what the club was going through, but I would never, ever be able to play or give my full best to the team, knowing that something happened to the agent that brought me from Nigeria. You know, so now we are talking about agents, being how the agent can be good for the player. We also have to think the other way around also. How can the player also help the agent to be a good agent for him, because I've heard so many crazy stories. I've seen so many things happen to agents, and that's the reason why they always want to be one step ahead and give a player 5 years contract, even when it's against FIFA rules. But the player doesn't know. So that's one thing that's happened so many in the past, and it's our job to educate the upcoming players and to prepare them for whatever whatever journey they're going to take.
Honestly, I've never heard this sort of intelligence. I've never I love what you just said. I didn't expect that I was going to hear you say this, honestly. Someone said, I truly admire your way of thinking. And I admire your way of thinking.
Thank you very much.
I was going to ask, was your dad a teacher?
He was not a teacher, but he was highly educated, and that's the reason why me and my siblings, we were all educated. And like I told you from the very beginning, having a little education also, even when you are aspiring to leave Africa, you want to go to Europe, you want to become a great player, you want to, all these things, a little bit of education. It doesn't matter, even if it's secondary school. Being able to express yourself alone is an advantage. You don't just come to somewhere and then you are just sold. You are sold because you are not educated, because you don't understand what you're saying, because you just want to leave Nigeria, you just want to leave Africa, you just want to play in Europe, you just want to earn more money, then you sign something you don't know about. I mean, this Spain story I just told you, I don't know how it came out, but it has been a secret I've been walking around with for so long. We gave an official story like, yes, the club didn't give a bank guarantee of the payment. That's the reason why we pulled out of the deal. And everybody expects Ujah to be angry because they didn't give me the opportunity to play against Ronaldo. They expect me to be angry with my club in Norway, but I didn't. I came back happily, and I had this faith, the belief that when it's your time, it's your time. And going into the second season in Norway, just half of the season, I scored almost the same goals as I scored in the previous full season. And I left to Germany after just half. So to answer your question, my father is not a lecturer or a teacher, but he was educated at least.
Okay, so I'm going to take this question now. Fusayo Dairo is a journalist. He's a chief football writer for ACL Sports. And he says, okay, as a writer to Kem Tema's question, how best is it for a naive upcoming player to sign up with an agent, knowing fully well that you need an agent anyway? how best would you advise a young player or a naive player to sign with an agent?
Honestly, as I'm sitting here now, it's easy for me to speak because I have crossed that bridge. And the fact that I'm sitting here and speaking like someone perfect doesn't mean that if I was confronted with that challenge, I was not I didn't have that experience, having a paper before me and telling me, sign this paper or you don't go to Europe. That is the biggest question or the biggest challenge. It is the biggest decision a young player trying to go to Europe will face. I didn't have this experience, so I cannot speak for them. But I know one thing: if there is a paper, signing a paper is standing in the way of me leaving Africa to Europe, I would have signed it. I'm answering this question now as putting myself in their shoes. I will sign it. But the question is, what are you signing? What are you signing? Do you know anything at all about the rules from FIFA that says, okay, you cannot sign for an agent more than so amount of years? There are people who sign more years, more than what FIFA says, but they are not even given a copy of this what they are signing. They don't give them a copy because they don't want them to show to someone that knows the rules, of another agent who wants to convince them to join them. So I would say it's not always all the players who make this decision to sign it's not all their fault. They want to make life better for their family. They want to go to a better league. They want they just want to live to a greener pasture, and you can't blame them. But the thing is, what happens after 1 year? What happens after 2 years? You should be able to start asking questions. It's not a life contract, So if just signing that paper is standing in your way of your dreams, sign it. But after you sign it, start asking questions. Once you settle down where you are going, start asking questions. Please, this deal I signed, I would like to see it again. Don't be scared. You are already out.
Sorry, Ujah. Please, Instagram will take us off now, and then we'll have to come back for that conclusion. Please just hang it on there. Guys, please, if you're not following Footballers Connect, kindly follow us, and then we're coming back immediately. We've hit 1 hour mark, and then we just got started. Please join us again in another 1 minute. Thank you.
No problem.
Whether it's internet, whether it's Instagram, I'm not sure which one. But what I know is that we're back.
Exactly.
Okay. Fisayo was asking, you were talking about agents being loyal to players being loyal to agents. I mean, I've seen some agents lie to players, and then I've also heard stories of players lying to agents. Some players, you ask them, where do you play? They will tell you, oh, I don't have an agent. I've not signed anything with anybody. And then when it's time to move to Europe, it becomes a problem. A lot of people start coming from north, from south, from east, from west. And then it becomes a problem, a huge problem.
Yeah.
How do you advise we can cope this between the agents and the players?
I think it has to do. That's what I said. There has to be some level of trust before you sign for an agent, and then also, if you are already his player, you should be able to know after 1 year what's his plans for you. Where does he see you in the next 5 years? You need to know. It's not just about now. Is the agent pushing you? Is he pushing you for you to work really hard? Is he telling you the truth even when you have a bad game? Things like this. All these things comes together, and then when the agent is only telling you about the clubs that want you just because he's going to earn money from it, but he doesn't follow up he doesn't check up on you while the season is going on, when there is no transfer window, then you should be able to know that, yeah, this guy is not for me. And then also the player also needs to have some patience, because players get carried away by a small offer. You know that, yeah, as long as they know that they will get double what they are getting now, they just lose their head. It doesn't matter which country, it doesn't matter what is there. They just want to go. They will now even betray their own agent just to go with the other agent because the other agent brought the deal. I mean, be able to tell any agent that comes that I have an agent, this is his number. Call him when there is something you guys can work together and share. You know, player being able to do that that's one big problem. You know, they just go for the ones that comes, forgetting they have signed something for someone else. We have also seen players having issues because they signed for double agent. You know, that has happened. And then the players that sign what they don't know, they don't even have a copy of it. And then agents who also force a player to sign something they are not supposed to sign. So it goes vice versa. It goes different ways. But the most important thing for the player is to always read. Even if you can't read, I understand not every player has to be educated. Not every player has the ability to read something. Take a copy, say, please, I would like to show someone a copy of this before I sign it. And then take it, show it. I'm sure one of your brother, somebody must have gone to school in your family, or a friend, somebody that has, it must not be an agent, the person must not even have a knowledge of football. Let the person read this thing and tell me, and then I will now get back to you. You know, don't just rush and sign. I understand on one part, you're about to leave Africa or Nigerian league to Europe. You have to sign this. You want to chase your dream. You have it's almost like you have no choice. That one I understand, but you are already in Europe, but still, you still don't think you should check something. You know, especially when you are doing really well. You know, when you are doing well as a player, that's when you have the most power. The times where you have to chase your agent is where your contract is running out. The club doesn't want you anymore, and then another club doesn't want you. So when you find yourself in that situation, that's where you can be helpless. But when you are doing very well, you have all the power in your hands. All you need to do is just watch out for yourself. I mean, that's the little you can do.
When you are doing well, you just say "oing."
Exactly. Exactly.
When you are the one doing well, when the agent comes and say, "Hey, what's going on?" You just say "oing."
You have the checkbook on your hands.
Exactly. You have the bargaining power with you.
Yes.
I mean, nice advice from you, honestly. This portion of the video is going to go out to lots of kids out there, lots of players out there. Trust me, there are still professional players. I mean, Onazi was sharing in his interview with Omar Akatuba, he was sharing how some players who are already in Europe, and then he told them, guys, share your contract with me. Let me know what's up. Let me know what is going on with you. When Wahala burst, when the agents left them, abandoned them, they started calling him senior man. The agent don't leave us, so senior man, we know. I mean, save yourself the drama.
Exactly. I mean, all you need to show is paper. They are not asking you to bring the money, let them hold it for you. They are not asking they are not asking you to do anything.
To send money.
They just want the best for you. And that's one big problem that has been happening, and we hope things can get better with the great job you are doing like this, creating the platform for people, because nowadays almost everyone is on Instagram. So you can learn one or two things, you know, by just listening, by just hearing a story, sharing your story with someone. You know, no one knows everything. No one knows everything, but the problem half shared is half solved, you know, just as they said.
What's your take on players going to some countries? I mean, I've seen a player from Nigeria go to Mongolia to go and play football. I'm serious. Omar Akatuba wrote a story recently of a Nigerian player in Myanmar. The guy thought it was Miami. I don't know if you heard the story.
No, I didn't.
It's funny, but I mean, it's not funny.
It's sad and funny. I understand. The thing is, first of all, we Nigerians were hustlers. There is no country you will not see an Igbo man doing business. I understand that part. So we are ready to go anywhere just to make an ends meet, just to earn something, just to be able to send something home to our family, because back home we feel we are not being given the opportunity, and then there's this belief that once you enter the plane and goes out, there is something good. Yeah, mostly right, but it's also not that easy, because you need to put in the work and all that. Then you need to be careful. You need to ask questions. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to ask questions of which country is this? Share it with someone. Just because you just want to enter the plane to anywhere, just because you feel the money is just waiting, it's not a good reason for you to put yourself at risk. I mean, there has also been a story of players getting, being used to sell drugs because they were misled, believing they are coming for football, but then they get used to sell drugs and all that. So you need to be careful also, because just because you want to go out by all means possible doesn't mean you have to also risk your life, because if you don't have that life, how will you even be able to play that football? There are so many people stuck outside, their passport being taken away from them. It's sad, and they can't do anything about it. They cannot do anything about it. It's just sad, because today we hear about human trafficking happening all over the world. So it's just ask questions. The one who asks is never lost. That's just something that I know.
Guys, don't be surprised. This young man here is speaking so well. He's speaking fluently. The man in go school. In go school at least reach MD level, right? I'm correct, right? MD level.
Yes.
So
yes.
not be saying a small thing. And then you spent 11 years in Europe. Not be beans, not be small thing. And I understand that Germans are very professional. Germans are very business-like. Tell us about interaction with the German community. What do you think? What do you make of these guys in Germany?
First of all, if you check the history of Nigerian players that has played here, you will notice that we are not so many, not so rampant, compared to other leagues. Not because they are not good players enough, but because Germans don't just want your talent. They want the discipline. You can't just show up late 3 times in a row to training. It's or to a meeting. A team meeting, you're coming late. You're going late to things. It's not possible. You can't do that here. There's something. This is our African time. We are very, we are very good with this, coming late and all these things. It's not possible here. It's not possible, because you will even kick yourself out. You can score as much as you can. You can be as good as you can, but once you don't have the discipline here in Germany, it's over. It's over. And because they don't want you to be a bad example for the team. And if they don't discipline you, when I mean discipline, like if you don't get the punishment, they are also sending the wrong message out. I played in other countries, in other places where you break you go against the rules, and then they overlook it because you are the best player. They just overlook it. But here it's impossible. No matter how big you are, they will give it to you directly. And we Africans, once you cut our money, you've cut our head. You understand? So once you start disciplining and you start fining players, they have to pay a fine and all that. You for us, that part is like you pinch us. It's like you hit the nail on our head. So, and once you start experiencing that, everything start breaking down. So here in Germany but once you're able to succeed here, you can succeed anywhere or with anything you do in life. That's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here, right here in my home. That's why I see my future also here in Germany. When I mean future, I mean after football as well, because I will want my kids to grow up here. I want to have my family here, because it's just a very good country to be, as a football player and as a person as well.
Interesting. So Omar Akatuba is saying the same thing. So he said his dad told him he either gets a deal in a week or go back to school. He's brilliant. So Omar Akatuba is corroborating what I said about you being speaking.
He has gone to his archive. He has gone to his archive and brought up my interview.
All right.
So bro, let's wrap it. By 8:30, I have an important game to watch. Bremen is trying to stay in the league, and
no problem.
I need to
problem.
support them.
So,
I need to go and buy my beer.
We're getting towards the tail end.
No problem. All right.
Yeah, so Kem the man is saying, you suppose allow us ask Anthony a question. Please send in your questions and then I'll gladly take them. I'm happy to take your questions, and the man is happy to answer our questions as well. So tell us a little bit about your journey to China. In the first place, when Nigerian players move to China, they say, you don't go collect Chinese money. Was that the case?
I am not one of those players that will sit here and tell you, I went there to learn a new culture, a new league. Brother, I'm from Africa. I got an offer that I never dreamt of. And then I analyzed. It's not like I just jumped into it without thinking, I analyzed my career so far and also the next 5 years. In 2016, when the offer came, I already had the offer in January, but my club refused because we were battling relegation.
Omar said there's a village waiting to be fed.
Full community. He knows. So the offer came in January. Offer that was even better than what I went for in summer. But I also understood with my club, Bremen, we were battling relegation. They wouldn't let me go because how do you explain to the fans where you sell your highest goal scorer who was on 8 goals in December, and it will be a big mistake, and from a football perspective, I also saw reasons with them. I didn't push for the move. I didn't trouble the club. I was cool. I stayed cool. I continued the season and I finished the season with 14 season goals together with the cup and everything because I was fully ready. And on the last game of the season, we survived the relegation, and it was like almost a goal from me, but another player touched it before. So being part of the reason why they stayed in the league felt really, really good. And I felt like, yeah, okay, if something comes now, I will consider it. And luckily, another offer came. So I sat down and took my time to analyze with myself. I don't need to speak to anybody. I saw myself like, okay, I cannot play for Bayern Munich. I cannot play for Dortmund. It's not because I don't believe in myself. It's because I know what I can do and I know what I cannot do. I will only be able to play for the middle class teams, And now I have the opportunity to earn something that these top clubs earn. So, because then this was the beginning of when they were throwing the money around in China. I was like, okay, I have a lot to do. I have a foundation, Anthony Ujah Foundation. You can check it out. I have a foundation. I have a lot of people that I help. I have a lot of people in school on scholarship, and so many things going on. People on business, on their own business. These are things that I've been doing since my Norway days. Not because I'm going to China. I was already doing it, and I want to make it bigger, and also to secure my own future as well, my family and everything. So. But I had a plan. Just because the offer was big, I didn't lose the plan. I had a plan not to stay more than 2 years because I want to come back to Germany and I want to come back to be able to play in the first league. I don't want to go and stay more than 2 years, 3 years, and then I lose that. Even coming back, I already lost some. Everybody knows that I wasn't the same again. I knew that was going to come, so I'm not sad about it. It's like a plan. When you have your career plan and you follow the plan, so I followed everything exactly how I wanted it to be. When after 1.5 years, and I said, okay, I still have 1.5 years left contract, but I said, okay, this is enough. I've been able to make some smart investment. I've been able to, put some people in school. I've been able to make life better for people, you know, like set up businesses for people who can feed their own family. For now, it's enough. I want to go back to Germany and continue playing in the top league because I haven't lost the passion yet. I haven't lost the hunger to succeed, you know, to continue to show myself. So I came back to Germany. So luckily everything, I came back to first division, not second division. And that shows that I still want to compete in the best league in the world. You know, I want to still be right up there. I'm not ready to quit yet. So now I came back and it's been 3 years now. And I feel like I did exactly what I planned. You know, it wasn't an easy experience. You know, China is completely different. It's something completely is let's just say it's another world. They live in their own world, but they like it when you come. You accept them for who they are, and you try to integrate yourself into their own system. You know, and I did just that, but it was just time for me to return, just as I planned.
I think, thank you so much. I mean, you gave a very honest response. So Omar says very honest, realistic, and smart response. A whole community, of course, has been fair. I mean, so someone is asking a question. I am Salvi. He says, is the German league favorable for young Nigerian players without national team experience? Just in a very short caption.
Good. That's a good question. It is. It's very, very. But it's not easy to just leave Nigeria directly to here. You need to go through Norway, Belgium, all this. It's possible, like Osimhen did. It's possible. You know, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible, but then you need some preparation to come to if you want to get straight to playing for the top team, not just for the second team or the third division or something like that. But yeah, to answer the question, it's a very favorable league.
I think we'll get to talk about that some more. Someone says, please, all your advice has indeed been great. But sadly for me, I am one of those who already rushed into leaving the country, and now I am actually stuck here in Kazakhstan without no club. This is Ogbole Junior 10. There are lots of Nigerians out there who are stuck, and you really made reference to this thing. But because of our time now, I'm going to talk about yourself now. For your career, do you have any regrets as a footballer?
I wouldn't call it a regret. I would call it a wish, and that is scoring for the national team. I would call it a wish. So far, I haven't been able to do that, and it's not a regret. It's not. I haven't joined any team that I'm not supposed to join. I haven't taken any bad decision that has affected my career so far. So I would say no regret, but it's just more like a wish to have done better playing for the Super Eagles than I've done. But all in all, I've had like a great career so far. This year I will be 30. I've had like really, really great moments, like very good moments. Like I won the second division trophy with Cologne. I got promoted with them. That was a good experience. I had 1 year in Bremen, very good year, just 1 year, but I scored the most goal in so far in Germany. And I mean, I've had exciting experiences so far, and I would just, it's all blessing. But regrets, I would say no, none so far.
All right. Quick one again. Who was the toughest? Which club was the toughest opponent so far that you've played against?
Yeah, it's just one, and it's just Bayern. As a striker, as a striker, it's no fun. When you are playing for a smaller team, it's no fun to play against Bayern because you don't see the ball. You will find it difficult to. But that's one of my biggest achievements so far playing in Germany was scoring in Munich against this best keeper, Neuer, you know. And you have the opportunity like once in 10, 15 minutes. So if you don't take it, it's not coming back. So I would say they have the ball the most time, and you are just chasing the ball, trying to get the ball. So it's all the teams I've played for so far, we always play against relegation, and then you are always underdog when you meet Bayern Munich. So, but I would say so far it's been a great experience so far.
Someone else is saying, I don't know, I can't pronounce this. Anna Becca is saying, not sure if Ujah sees this by himself, but please tell him that this interview was amazing. Thank you for giving us an amazing interview. Honestly,
thank you, Hannah.
This is amazing. Honestly, so someone is saying, Anthony Ujah is asking, do you still want to play for Nigeria with the forces we have up front?
It's never too late. It's never say never. I have not officially quit the Super Eagles yet. This year I will be 30, still hungry. If the opportunity comes, fine. Until I officially say, okay, I close the door is always open, and I will continue to work hard. And like I said, the door is open.
Emokpe Allen is saying, any plans for coaching?
Bros, let me finish football first. Honestly, I don't know what I will do yet after my career, but definitely I still want to be around football. I also want it to be somewhere around young players coming up, because I feel like I have a lot to share. I have a lot to give, and I hope I will have that opportunity. I don't know if it's in the form of being an agent or working for a club with a youth team. I don't know yet, but definitely it will be around football. Definitely.
Honestly, I'm blown away with all of your responses, and I must say a very big thank you to you. But unfortunately, we have to cut it very short.
We should do more next time.
No
problem. But we should find time next time to do more.
Definitely, definitely. No problem. So we're going to do more on a larger platform. Where we would have, because what we do, we've organized two seasons, 2018, 2019, and then we invite top professionals just like you to come and talk to young footballers. So the next edition, it's a mark for us. So Anthony Ujah is on our list. Please just say yes.
No problem. No problem. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. So for now, I urge everybody to go and watch Bremen, support Bremen, and hope Bremen stay in the first division. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much.
No
Everybody,
problem.
Please make sure you're following Footballers Connect. Please, just so you can get to enjoy more and more of this kind of interviews, please follow Footballers Connect, and then be sure to get more from the depth, just like this. Thank you so much, Anthony Ujah. We'll talk some more. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
You too. All the best to Bremen.
Thank you.
All right, we wish Bremen all the best. All right, thank you guys for joining. This is a super interview, honestly. Please ensure that you're following us, just so we can keep bringing you more and more of this nature of interviews. For us, it's what we've chosen to do. We want to ensure that we keep motivating and inspiring people to being the best at whatever they do. My name remains Amos Joseph, and I'm the founder of Footballers Connect. Please keep supporting us. Thank you so much, and enjoy your wonderful evening. Please, thank you.